We got Lesnar and Ryback versus Swagger and Cesaro. The Heyman guys versus the Real Americans. Jack Swagger starting off against Brock Lesnar as Brock Lesnar has his advocate, Heyman, in the corner. Heyman, the man that brings together Lesnar and Brock. Lesnar and Ryback. As we get a couple of big shots to the chest by Jack Swagger. Brock Lesnar able to counter and send Swagger into the corner and now tag in Ryback. Ryback actually going up to the top rope for an assisted crossbody. The huge weight of Ryback must be devastating to Jack Swagger. As now we see a side suplex by Ryback to Swagger. Will it in fact be Swagger time? Or will Ryback rule? As we get a tag team maneuver here now. Huge chop to the chest. As Ryback attacks a pinned opponent by his partner, Brock Lesnar. And now that modified Louis press slamming the head and the upper back of Jack Swagger against the mat. As we get a nice suplex by Brock Lesnar, sending him down onto the mat once again, trying to keep on to Jack Swagger repeatedly. The great fundamental wrestler, Jack Swagger. As now he gets the slam of the head against the mat several times. A bunch more as Ryback keeps on Jack Swagger. Swagger able to counter, gets an armbar onto Ryback. Will he be able to capitalize here? Pulling him down onto the knee. He does not go to make a tag. He in fact continued to attack Ryback, but Ryback able to grab Swagger for a nice suplex there. Now Ryback going to try and tag in Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar scaring off Swagger. Antonio Cesaro going to come in now as they tie up together. Antonio Cesaro and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar whips in Antonio Cesaro into the corner there and actually clotheslines the back of his head. He's going to tie up Cesaro's legs now, trying to hurt those, trying to slow down Antonio Cesaro. We got a huge lift and a slam by Brock Lesnar, putting all of his weight behind that slam as well, getting some airtime on it as we get Antonio Cesaro now whipping Brock Lesnar over the top rope. And now he's going to grab and do a nice driver. A stunner. As we get a couple of big shots and a nice boot to the head. As Lesnar gets attacked by both Swagger and Cesaro. Cesaro now getting headlocked and sent into the steel post. And sent to the steel post again by Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar going to try and get back into the ring as he is the legal man. Huge shot to the chest as we get a headlock by Antonio Cesaro. And a couple of big kicks. Arm leg drag takedown from Antonio Cesaro off of that kick counter. As we get a big move coming in by Brock Lesnar. Huge follow-away slam. Sending Antonio Cesaro down to the mat. And he goes for the pin here. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Antonio Cesaro able to kick out. Jack Swagger blocking for Cesaro. As we see Brock Lesnar now actually strip the table here on the outside and sending Antonio Cesaro into it. He's going to get back. He's running back up onto the steel steps, up onto the apron. He's going to let Ryback do it for him. He's going to let Ryback finish off Mr. Antonio Cesaro with the shell shock through the table. Oh my God, is that a 5 count? Antonio Cesaro sent into the middle of the ring now as we get a huge shot to the admin and Brock Lesnar dragging Antonio Cesaro into the middle of the ring. He just got shell shocked through that table and he was able to counter that Irish whip and perhaps actually get a tag into Jack Swagger. Yes, he will get that tag into Jack Swagger. Brock Lesnar able to duck from underneath that kick, however, and tag in Ryback now as Ryback gets attacked by Swagger into a huge suplex from the fundamental wrestler, Jack Swagger. Belly-to-belly suplex by Swagger, but he gets attacked from behind. And a nice poke to the eyes by Ryback, one of the bad guys. Jack Swagger actually sending Ryback to the outside and tackling him outside as well, calling Ryback to come back into the ring. And Brock Lesnar actually distracting the referee for quite some time, grabbing him. We get a nice gut buster there. He's going to try and turn over and go for a submission maneuver onto Jack Swagger, onto the fundamentalist. We get a nice Cobra Clutch, a basic maneuver, but he lets go before Jack Swagger is able to counter. And he puts up Jack Swagger. And he puts him up for an electric chair. He sets him down. Will he go for a pin now? He actually gets a poke to the eyes by Jack Swagger as Jack Swagger gets himself back up. Jack Swagger able to attack the back of Ryback. Ryback and Swagger have been fighting against each other for so long in this tag team matchup. As we get Swagger showing off with some push-ups on the back of Ryback. But Jack Swagger does not have eyes on the back of his head, and Brock Lesnar attacks him from behind once again. And a huge elbow to the back leaves Brock Lesnar and Ryback in control. Head drag suplex by Ryback. He looked like he was going to try and do it again. This time a hip toss, sending him to the other side of the ring. And a couple of elbows into the shoulders, sends him down to the mat. As now we get Jack Swagger able to run over to Antonio Cesaro and get the tag to Antonio Cesaro. Antonio Cesaro dodges that clothesline and goes for a nice suplex onto Ryback. Will Cesaro be able to return the momentum to the tide of his team? As Ryback gets picked up by Antonio Cesaro. Antonio Cesaro now going for a huge powerbomb, planting Ryback flat down in the middle of the ring. Will he go for the equalizer after that? No, he won't, as Ryback catches that foot. And now he grabs Antonio Cesaro. And he's setting up for his finisher, for the Shell Shock. He is setting up Antonio Cesaro for the Shell Shock. And he lands it. He lands Cesaro straight dab in the middle of the ring. And he goes for the pin here. 1, 2, 3. The Heyman guys win it.